I was obviously numbing the pain with substance abuse, drinking far too much. COVID was pretty much the low point. Me and my friend were probably drinking a litre of whisky a day between us.
Michael Roos, who went from drinking alcohol almost every day to turning professional at boxing at age 31.
Bit of an ill-disciplined child, youngster. I can remember having a golf tournament on a Sunday at 8 AM and I'm out in nightclubs and then going back to the after party, standing around with my mates until 4 AM. I didn't like school at all because I was from a specific area. Went to a high school, and then because we were from that area we had to fight with the boys who were there. It was probably in Dubai, it probably hit rock bottom, where we decided, right, I need to make a change. The amount of people that would fall into the bracket of an alcoholic is a lot larger than people know. And I went and joined the boxing gym, and that's the first time I just did it for to lose a bit of weight, get a bit of fitness, and yeah, it's all kind of spiralled from there. I want to try and win some kind of lower tier belt that no proper boxer cares about, Yeah, he absolutely battered me to the point where I was just like, you just can't get away from it.
Welcome to the show where we talk to successful people about the bits you don't see. Today, we're talking to Michael Roos, who went from drinking alcohol almost every day to turning professional at boxing at age 31. Michael, how you doing?
Fantastic, mate. Good to be here on a Sunday afternoon.
Good. Talk to me about the story of your life. What have you got going on? What have you had going on?
Bit mental. Where to start? Yeah, come from a bit of a sporting stock, shall we say. Mm-hmm. So my grandfather was a good amateur boxer, professional rugby player. My father was a professional football player. My wee cousin was on the books at Celtic. I played county level golf, football and rugby. I was a bit of a jack of all trades and a master at none. Up until I was about, 19, 20 or something like that. Yeah, then lost my way a bit, shall we say. Right. Well, actually, probably before that. Bit of an ill-disciplined child, youngster, I can remember having a golf tournament on a Sunday at 8 AM and I'm out in nightclubs and then going back to the after party, standing around with my mates until 4 AM and stuff like that. So it's obviously not conducive to good performance. Yeah. Probably, bit disappointing for my father, I would imagine. He put a lot of effort into driving me around Scotland, driving around, trying to make something happen, I guess. And I didn't really repay him with any success. Just didn't fulfil my potential because I was ill-disciplined. Yeah.
I had a mate that was similar, that he was really good at sports, and I think he played a lot of golf. I think it was golf that was fun, and he was out on the kind of nights out before it, and he ended up chucking it. He's now... he's been in jail for the last 4 years, I think, and he's got another 8 to go. So you've done better than that. Well done. Yeah.
I mean, done some pretty stupid stuff, shall we say. Probably best not to say them on camera, but
we were talking about John O'Carroll before. He spoke about some stuff that he'd never spoken about on camera, of running about and stabbing people and jumping on their heads and stuff on like 2 or 3 episodes before this one. Yeah. But yeah, don't incriminate yourself. He said that when it's been 10 years, it'll be fine. Right, go all the way back to the start then. So you're a kid, you're good at sports. Talk to me about school. Talk to me about sports.
I don't know. I think sports was quite a big thing in my life. As I said, my dad football wanted me to be a football player. I was a good football player.
Who did he play for?
Ayr United.
Oh, okay.
So he's told me some stories about him. He played against Rangers in some cup. I can't remember what it was. And he basically said he was through the middle, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and he said, honestly, Michael, 999 times out of 1,000 I would have scored. Yeah. He said, but for some reason I just didn't this time. And then a new manager came in after that, and that was him. So, game of inches, I guess. But I mean, when I played golf throughout Scotland, people would see my name on the list, and they would come looking for me because they knew my dad. Yeah. Oh, I used to play football with your dad, Michael. How's he getting on? And then, or people would recognise me. They'd wander up in a clubhouse somewhere and say, "You must be a Roos. I played with your father." You know. So, yeah. Then I forgot the question though. I've gone off on a totally tangent.
That was me. I told you on a tangent asking about your dad. So, sporting stuff as a kid and life as a kid in general, because you were speaking about school last night as well. Talk to me about school.
I didn't like school at all. Because I was from a specific area, went to a school, a high school, and then because we were from that area, we had to fight with the boys who were there. I can remember the police getting called to the school actually, and they pulled all of me and my friends into the head teacher's office, and this is absolutely mad. Think about it. And obviously we were having daily fights, weekly fights, or whatever it is, and then the policeman said, "What's going on, boys? These other crowd are taking the piss out of you. They're winning all the time." I was like, "Yeah, they're winning all the time because there's 12 of us and there's like 60 of them." You know what I mean? Yeah. You've got a bit of a weightage advantage,
Yeah. And so, why is that? For somebody that's not from Glasgow, why does that happen?
It's just the way it is, unfortunately. And I don't know, it's just part of the whole of the west of Scotland has socio-economic problems and stuff like that,
So everything were you like a Rangers school?
No, I'm a Catholic.
I know you're a Celtic fan, but I wasn't sure if it was like a Rangers Celtic thing.
No, well, it was obviously non-denominational school we went to, but it was purely areas. So, yeah, I think I mentioned it earlier on, I was sitting in classrooms and stuff like that, and people would be walking by the class and going, putting, knife signs at your hand, all that sort of, you're getting slashed, that sort of thing. You basically just couldn't walk anywhere by yourself at all.
That's mental. So your whole school life is not being able to go places yourself?
Pretty much, yeah. Or you always had to have somebody with you. I remember getting on the train I can't even remember how I ended up myself, but I got jumped by about 8 guys. So I had my nose broke, my nose burst, that sort of stuff. So then I phoned my mates. This has just happened, and then they ended up finding the group that had just done it. So got a bit of repercussions were served, I guess. But yeah, stuff like I just think that's not. It sounds terrible, but that's just normal, and I don't know how you would stop that. I said socio-economic problems.
Yeah, it is. It's just like that in Glasgow. And Edinburgh was a little bit like that, but nowhere near the same.
I can remember doing some work in Paisley. This is when I graduated. I actually lived in Denniston at the time, and I went to Paisley, and I was surveying some council houses to do some refurb work. And I can remember coming out of the close, and what age was I? I was probably 21. And 2 guys were walking along the street. They must have been 16. And he's like, one of them says to his mate, "Right, if he does it again, I'll have got no option. I just need to stab him." And then his mate's like, "Yeah, you've got no option. You just need to stab him." And I'm thinking, this is about 4 o'clock. And I'm thinking to myself, probably about time for me to leave,
Hey, that's just what it was like back then, though, wasn't it? Right, so talk to me about the sports. So you've got this thing going on at school, and then alongside it, you're good at all sports.
Yeah, I was good at all sports, but I said a jack of all trades, but master at none. And I think because I was a master at none, I didn't really know what one to kind of focus on. And then I thought, right, I'm going to go and concentrate on the golf, because I thought I was the best, probably. I won the club championship as a junior, so I won the men's club championship as a junior when I was 17, and I was thinking, right, I'm going to pick that one. And I don't know what happened, but I just didn't have the discipline to go and practice every day. And funnily enough, as I stopped doing other sports, so I think my athletic ability probably impacted my ability to play golf as well, and couple that with the ill discipline, going out and drinking with your mates rather than having an early night. Obviously impacted my ability to fulfil my potential. I say ironically, my grandfather, who was a good boxer, he had like 55 fights and won 49 by knockout.
Wow.
He was a light heavyweight southpaw, and he called Joe Killer Kelly because he just went around knocking everyone out, so they called him Killer. But he had Parkinson's towards the end of his life. I say towards the end of his life. I don't remember him ever not having Parkinson's.
Right.
So because of that, my mother was always dead set against me. Anything combat related.
Oh yeah, because there's a link, isn't there, between boxing and...
Well, I mean, it's probably not healthy.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a direct causal link. But probably not good.
Getting dumped in the head all day, every
repeatedly.
day.
Repeatedly. So my mother was dead set against me doing anything combat related. And the ironic thing is, if I was to, I don't know, start boxing back then perhaps I would have had the discipline to fulfil my potential in other areas, But I guess we'll never know, hindsight being 2020.
Well, that's interesting. So you flirted with the whole ill discipline and going out and stuff like that. Let's get on to that. So what happens next?
Insofar as what?
Well, so you're great at sports. You've done the school thing. You're good at all. You might have got good at golf. You might have been good at this. You might have been good at that. And then it sounds like you went a bit downhill. What happened?
I don't know. Scotland happened, I guess. You just, and you live for the weekend, don't you? You instead of actually putting your energy and being disciplined at something to achieve something, or to you go off and you think it's a good idea to go partying for 3 days. I remember I worked in Denmark as well when I graduated from university. I went to Denmark to build some golf courses.
Right.
And we would be back once every 4 weeks or something. I'd land on the Thursday morning at Edinburgh Airport. I would get the train back from Edinburgh to Glasgow. I would go out on the piss with my mates for probably from Thursday morning until Sunday evening. I would go back, have dinner with my mum and dad, and then on Sunday, and then I would be leaving again on Tuesday morning. That type of lifestyle is just not conducive to anything, And again, hindsight being 2020, do I regret it? Yeah, but I mean, I think everything you've done in your previous life kind of shapes the man that you are today, doesn't it?
100%. So how bad did it get in that period?
Well, actually, it wasn't even. It was probably after that. It was probably in Dubai. It probably hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
Where we decided, right, I need to make a change. I was working at a company in stress, anxiety, constantly having to go out with people you're drinking 3-4 nights a week to talk about arbitration clauses. And then...
So what was your job at that point?
So originally... Sorry, we jumped about a bit.
Right.
Originally, I went to university to do quantity surveying.
Right.
Which is effectively managing money and contracts on construction projects. And then I went and did a master's degree in law.
Right.
So I've ended up in the construction dispute resolution space, which is quite niche. So everybody knows everybody. You have to go and do networking events, talk about arbitration clauses.
Must get right messy, that as well. That must be like because shit can go wrong in construction.
I mean, construction is very complex, very detail orientated, and there's a lot of money riding on stuff. Yeah. So if somebody makes a mistake, it's basically, can cost somebody millions, hundreds of millions, even billions. Yeah.
Carillion went down because of their Middle East business, didn't
Effectively, They didn't manage their construction projects properly in Qatar, and then basically paid the price. Yeah. They were then kind of at the behest of the government in Qatar. They thought they were going to get paid out money, and they didn't. Because they thought they had a good relationship, and obviously they, paid the ultimate price.
It took down the whole thing in the UK as well, didn't it?
Yeah, everything. Yeah. I watched years ago now. I watched the inquest into it, which was all quite interesting. Yeah.
So talk to me then about you're going out every night. It's 3-4 nights a week. You're doing the drinking.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening then?
You get very anxious, depressed. I didn't know that I was anxious and depressed at the time. But hindsight, the clarity of hindsight, shall we say? I kind of realised I was obviously numbing the pain with substance abuse. Drinking far too much. COVID was pretty much the low point, I would imagine. Me and my friend were probably drinking a litre of whisky a day.
Fucking hell.
Between us.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I seen you post
3 or 4 Deliveroos as well a day.
A day?
I just.
I thought you were going to say a week, a day.
No, a day. Yeah.
I seen you posted a thing that the definition of an alcoholic in the UK, I think it was, is
Dr. Huberman, one of my many man crushes.
You drink 14 small glasses of wine a week,
14,
and that's an alcoholic.
14 units. So the word alcoholic is a very pejorative term. So people don't really understand what that actually means. But medically, the definition is 14 units per week, which is you said 2 small glasses of wine per day.
How many units is in a litre of whiskey?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
All of them. That must be.
I mean
50.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd hate to think about it. It's all pretty hazy. Not particularly good. I look back at some of the photos as well, and other people. I went to the doctors a while ago, or maybe a couple of months ago, and I showed them my Emirates ID, and he's like, "Michael, this isn't you. This is a different person." And I said, "That is." He said, "That's obviously taken, 6 years ago or whatever." Yeah. When I was going through my mental health struggle, shall we say.
So you're in it, you don't realise it's going on, you don't realise it's bad. What happens next? How'd you get to here?
It was all a bit odd, actually. There's a couple of defining moments, shall we say. One of the guys I used to work with, we were out at the weekend drinking, obviously. It was during the day. And he said something to the effect of, Michael, that's what we're like, though, or that's our problem. We're not very ambitious. And I was like, I am ambitious, And I thought about it, and I don't know, I was wasting away everything. I was wasting away everything, my potential, because of my ill-discipline, And I just decided I had to get my act together. January 2021, I can remember going to watch the Rangers Celtic game on the 2nd of January.
Me and Jamie had a night of our lives after that game. Ask him, I cannot say what happened next on camera. There's going to be about 5 people that are listening to this that know what happened that night. Ask him what happened that night for us.
I will ask him.
Anyway, tangent. So yeah, it's the 2nd of January. You're watching the Rangers Celtic game. What's going on there?
And I can remember having a pint and telling myself this is the last drink I'm going to have. I said it's not because the definition of an alcoholic, obviously pejorative, but you are functioning alcoholic 14 units a week. I mean, you can still do stuff.
You could do a lot more than that in function, I'm sure.
Yeah, but people automatically think an alcoholic means they are always drunk and unable to do anything, unable to live their life and stuff like that. But actually, there is I think the amount of people that would fall into the bracket of an alcoholic is a lot larger than people know. Yeah. So yeah, what was that? I split up with a girlfriend as well in December 2020, and then January 2021 went to watch football, and I can remember thinking, right, time to get my life together, and I went and joined the boxing gym, and that's the first time I just did it for to lose a bit of weight, to get a bit of fitness, and it's all kind of spiraled from there. What's interesting though is once you've got discipline and once you've kind of got serious about your fitness and your lifestyle and stuff like that, your professional life goes like this as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's just an exponential graph. So basically, my boxing started here, and my professional life started here, and they both tracked in the same. Yeah, it's really weird. Obviously, people, they can measure success in different ways, but health, financial health, you know, and your all-round personality, I guess, you're just, I don't know, it's just like a totally different person.
So you've turned up to the boxing gym, you're going, I'm just doing this to lose a bit of weight.
Well, in the back of my head, I always knew I wanted to have a fight, but I didn't tell anyone at the time. Not on that specific day. They gave me a wee sheet and said, right, what do you want to do? Do you want to have a fight, or do you want to lose a bit of weight? And I ticked lose a bit of weight, but I didn't tell anybody. I don't know why I didn't tell anyone. I think just I didn't need to externalise it at that particular point. Yeah, and then just started training every day, but I got a bit of the ADHD addiction to it, you know, and so they say you replace one addiction with another, so I suppose I'm kind of addicted to bettering myself and boxing and that sort of stuff now, rather than going down the pub and sitting around and achieving nothing.
100%. What do they say in Trainspotting? Be addicted, just be addicted to something else.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's like.
Yeah, that's Scottish film as well.
Yeah. I've got a mate that was a gambling addict, alcoholic. He had a whole cluster of just disaster around his whole life, and he's actually hopefully going to come on the podcast when I go back home in a few weeks. He's always kind of flirted with it, and anyway, he went from that to he now does Herbalife, and he's just got addicted to like the whole Herbalife thing. And he's just like, you can see he's so violently addicted to this new thing. He's just gone from being addicted to being addicted to something else.
I mean, I don't know if that's healthy. I mean, is it difficult?
It's healthier. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's healthy.
But I listened to a podcast the other day about ADHD and how people with ADHD are predisposed to addiction anyway, because they basically it gives them the dopamine that they don't have, which is eye-opening.
Talk to me about that, because I've definitely got ADHD, not like, you know, bad, but I've definitely got like a
people are different.
Level.
People are on different, you know, further up and down the spectrum.
And I get addicted to things easy, like good, bad, and different. Like I'll get addicted to the worst of things, the best of things. I'll like just get so focused on something.
There's a fantastic book which I have just recently downloaded, an audio book called Now It All Makes Sense, and it is. I've just started listening to it, and I'm thinking, wow, this is unbelievable.
About ADHD?
Yeah, just everything is, you just pinpoints everything. You think, oh wow, I do that as well. Oh wow, I do that as well. Oh wow, I do that as well. Everything he said, like younger life and stuff.
I'm gonna buy that straight after
it's fantastic. As I said, I've just started it, but it's really eye-opening. You think, why didn't... If you're aware of something, at least you can work on it. Problem is, when you're not aware of something, then you're not able to... Well, you don't understand that you've got some sort of issue, so you can't keep on top of it, or you can't understand yourself properly.
So what are the things so far that's been in that you've been like, shit, that's me?
Oh, good question. I'll need to have a think. Liking your own space. I'm not that like I can be quite likable, bubbly and stuff like that in front of people, almost like I'm an ambivert, but actually I'm really quite happy just by myself.
That's
in
peace. Exact same as me.
Get agitated with people who are making too much noise. I'll get fixated. Like if I'm sitting at a restaurant and people are I'm sitting with someone at the table with me, and somebody else is having a conversation. I'll get fixated on that conversation because I can hear it. Therefore, you're almost ignoring. You're ignoring the person you're with. Yeah. Almost eye contact, right? So we're always taught that you should be keeping eye contact with the person that you're talking to. I've always struggled to keep eye contact with people for some bizarre reason. But then I'm thinking to myself so often, right, I need to keep eye contact so that they think I'm listening. But to the point is I'm concentrating on keeping eye contact that I don't listen to what you're actually saying.
All these things are me as well. Like every one of them, I'm like, I do that.
Yeah. So now, I don't know. I found that the boxing actually helped with the ADHD, but I wasn't even diagnosed with it up until So I started boxing and then get her up in the morning, going to the gym, and then I would come back and then I would sit at my laptop and I would do some work. But then, you know, the other thing about ADHD is like you just can't help when you get bursts of focus. So even at my old company, I would used to sit around and do nothing. That's probably the wrong thing to say. I would sit down and achieve minimal things, and then 3 p.m. between 3 and 7 I would have laser focus and I would achieve a lot, and to the point where I would then want to stay late.
Yeah.
You know, and then I'd be in the office till 10 o'clock because I need to ride the wave of focus when I have it, because I don't know when I'll next get it, you know.
Yeah, that's me as well. Like the amount of times that I struggle to do anything, and then there'll be like a 2-hour sprint in which I'll do 2 days of work.
Yeah.
And I'll do them well. And then it's like it goes again. I think I'm very minor. I don't think I'm like a big bad version of it. But I definitely, all those things that you said, I have.
I mean, to the outside world, it must look mad. Because really basic things, sending an invoice, I'll put that off and put that off and put that off because I just can't. I'm like sitting there and I'll sit on my couch, scroll through my phone, or have a documentary on in the background or something, and I'm like, right, I need to do that. Oh, right, I need to do that. Oh, I need to do that. And it starts to nag at you to the point where you've made it into a massive big deal, and then it becomes this mountain, and whilst you're still sitting there doing absolutely nothing, but you know that you have to do that, and then eventually do it. It'll take you 2 minutes, and you think, oh, why? I've really ruined my
like an entire week.
Yeah, and I could have done that on Monday and not done.
I do that.
You know, but it's mental.
Yeah.
But then the feeling of relief you get from doing something like that is second to none. It's really bizarre.
Yeah, all that makes so much sense. And I bet there's a lot of people that are listening to this, because a lot of like kind of higher achievers and business owners and stuff like that do have this. Like me and Jamie were speaking in the episode before this or after, depending on what way they go out, as we said before. And we were talking about ADHD and how it's like all business owners have it. Like it's actually quite uncommon for a business owner to not have it.
Yeah. So again, that book I was talking about now, suddenly it all makes sense. He has a podcast as well, and he gets people, business owners like lawyers and entrepreneurs. Everybody comes on to talk about their ADHD and how they manage it and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's obviously you can look at it in two ways. Either people kind of see it as a disability, or you can see it as a superpower. I like to think it's kind of a superpower, because when I may say I'm kind of addicted to bettering myself and boxing and stuff like that. I mean, that's kind of how I've turned my life around, I guess. But and I like the structure that it gives me. I get up in the morning and then I go to the gym. I come back, I do some work, and then if I've got a fight, and then I'll go to the gym in the evening and stuff like that. But it's the structure. I like having structure. Yeah. I don't necessarily like going on holiday. I can't really relax. My mum always, Michael, why can't you relax? You need to relax. And I'm just kind of, I don't know, I always have to be doing something. I've come out, 6 months of really intense period of work, and thinking to myself, right, I've deserved a bit of time off. And last week was the first time I sat around and did nothing. And honestly, the second day, I'm thinking, right, bored. I need to do something. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah, all of those are me. I've never been diagnosed. I've never really paid too much attention to it. But I've always known for, 5, 6, 7 years that there's definitely like a minor ADHD in there. Right, let's double back then. So you've gone to the boxing gym, you've ticked the box saying, I'm just doing this for fitness, I want to lose a bit of weight.
Yeah.
What happens next?
After my COVID debauchery.
After your COVID debauchery.
I have to undo pretty much all of the damage that I've done to my body. Hey, I don't know, I just said kind of got addicted to it. I was always interested in boxing when I was younger. Used to talk about it with my grandfather when I was younger, and just started going twice a day, and that was it. And I can remember, when was it? I probably trained for about a year, and one of the boxing coaches at the boxing gym, Sam Cox actually, who's in Dubai. Yeah, I can remember he was watching me shadow box one day and he's like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, you can get to a good level. I'm just watching you. You can get to a good level. What do you want to do?" I was like, well, don't know. I'm just training because I enjoy it. It makes me feel good. And he's like, "No, I think you need to have a think about having a fight at some point. Because you could get to a good level. See how far you can go." And and then I mean I don't think it was really that moment. Everything's just kind of spiraled ever since. Kept on training. Had my first ever white collar fight on the 4th of June 2022, so I had about a year and a half training. That was on the Spartans white collar show, and won that one. Then I had another couple of white collar kind of sparring things in BoxIQ down in Alcuz. I joined BoxIQ in January, so the day it opened, January 2022, and I've been based there ever since. And then what did I do? I had a couple of amateur fights with no head guard, and then the opportunity came up just to talk, because everyone was saying I was sparring these pros that were coming into BoxIQ to do training camps, like when Usyk was fighting AJ in Saudi Arabia, and they were doing their camp in BoxIQ, and Joe Ackeray, the owner of BoxIQ, basically sent a WhatsApp to me saying, "Oh, do you fancy sparring this guy?" And his name's Daniel Lapin, some Ukrainian, who was part of Usyk's team. And I was like, yeah, why not? So having all the sparring partners around, so we had Malik Scott, Martin Bacoli, Gerald Washington, who else? And a couple other big heavyweights all watching us spar. And I remember Gerald Washington and Malik Scott said to me afterwards, "Oh, how many fights have you had?" I was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 or something. They're like, "Pro?" And I was like, "No, not pro." Said they've only had a couple of white collars and some sparring stuff, and they're like, wow, it was really impressive. Oh. And so I've just kept on. I said they've got the ADHD addiction to it, so I've just always wanted to do it. And now, Jamie and myself have Jamie and me wanted to fight on some decent shows. And we were like, we don't really have any decent shows in Dubai to put on or to fight on. So do you know what? We'll just put one on ourselves. And then so that's what happened on, was it the 16th of November 2024? I turned pro, made my professional debut. Jamie also fought on that show, but probably not his best performance, because he's a lot more hands-on.
He's wild when he's running something. Yeah. Even the one recently, you were commentating at it, and he was just running around. Like, it was literally everywhere.
Yeah, so it's probably, and then he was going to try and fight on the next one after that, and everyone just said to him, "Look, mate, you can't." So he's kind of taken a step back from the actual boxing, but he still trains and stuff, It's good for your mental health. So then we we're just kind of putting some shows on, and it's all kind of spiraling a bit, so it's all well and good.
So you obviously had some pros watching you. In BoxIQ there is a lot of like good pros around as well, isn't it? So it must be good to be around those sorts of people, and it must be quite motivating to then go and do it.
I mean, there is a massive gulf in ability when you get in with people like Rocky Fielding, who's like ex-world champion and stuff. I can remember before I started boxing, this is years ago, probably sitting drinking a whiskey on the couch watching Rocky Fielding fight. Yeah. And you remember thinking to yourself, doesn't look that difficult. Yeah. I reckon. That's why I think you get so many people, armchair pros who think they can do that. Yeah. Because actually, if you look at it, it's just, you bring it down to its fundamental building blocks. There's 2 men in a ring having a fight, throwing punches at each other. Get hit. Yeah. But actually, when you really start to practice it and you start train and you get better, you realise that it's actually a science, it's an art, and that, you know, watching good boxing is beautiful. Anyway, I'll go back. I can remember sitting watching Rocky thinking, oh, he's not that amazing. I reckon I could do that. No problem at all. And then, honestly, you get in with Rocky and he is an absolute
so you sparred
animal.
Him.
Yeah.
And how did it go compared to when you were sitting on that TV with your whiskey and what you thought was going to happen? How close was it to what actually happened?
No, I hit him with a crisp 1-2 in the first 30 seconds and knocked his head back, and I think that just pissed him off. And then, he absolutely battered me. To the point where I was just like, you know, you just can't get away from him. Can't get away from him.
Yeah.
I said, like, there's a gulf in ability between people who are, you know, I would say my level, and then, you know, Rocky's.
Yeah.
But all that time I just thought to myself, imagine if Rocky's that good, how good must Canelo be?
Yeah. How good are the ones that he looks at and goes, oh my God, how could I ever be that good?
Yeah.
So, like, where have you got to in your boxing? And we'll come into the events in a minute. What's the, like, most recent fight that you've had? What's the next one?
Right, I've had 3 professional fights. Next one's in Thailand on the 30th of August, so 3 weeks yesterday. So I'm watching what I eat at the moment, unfortunately.
You had those my day cookies in front of you last night.
Yeah. Talk about mental toughness, you know. Yeah, so I'm fighting on the 30th of August in Thailand, on Bangkok, and then I'm going to box again on the 20th of September in Dubai on our show. All going to plan, of course.
Yeah. What's the difference between amateur and pro? Because that's something that, like, I don't understand how you, one day you're an amateur and the next day you're a pro, and like what actually happens.
Right, so it depends. So boxing's a bit of a mad sport. You'll get people who, I mean, I have absolutely no amateur background whatsoever, but you'd have people like Lee, who does have an amateur background. They, for example, don't need to necessarily prove to a professional boxing commission that they're good enough.
Yeah.
Certainly in Dubai, you need to show or need to demonstrate that you're good enough to turn professional, and then you have to go and do a medical license. And then obviously you get paid for appearing on the shows. High level amateurs don't need to prove that they're good enough. Obviously, people tell me that it's a totally different sport, which it is because it's a lot faster pace. But I mean, I don't know. I've never done the full, like, elite amateur. I've never done amateur. I've had, you know, what can you say? Maybe 2 or 3 amateur fights, and the rest glorified sparring, I guess. But I mean, so I'm kind of learning on the job as I go.
Yeah.
Joe Ackeray from BoxIQ taught me a lot. Fantastic coach. Anyone in Dubai should get themselves down to BoxIQ for sure. And now I'm with Paul Weir, though, who's hopefully going to take me to, well, he has taken me to the next level already.
He was world champion.
Yeah, also from my area.
Yeah.
So, blunt Scottish.
Yeah.
You know, will get me to do the same thing for an hour. Which again, I've probably, you know, my ill-disciplined past has probably reared its head in my boxing training within the last, well, I mean, was it 4 years or something? So you need to be doing the same thing, repeating the same thing over and over and over again. So Paul will get me to do the same thing. He'll say, that was shite, Michael, do it again. Shite, Michael, do it again. Shite, Michael, do it again.
Yeah.
And then there's been a couple of times where he's like, oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful, Michael.
Do it again.
And I was like, wow. I thought, wow, Paul, that's the first time you've ever said that. And he said, aye, well, it was beautiful, but the one before that was shite.
Yeah.
Do it again.
I've seen a thing, don't do something until you get it right, do it until you can't get it wrong.
Yeah.
And that's probably what he's trying to do there.
Absolutely. I've recently started seeing, I don't know what you would call it, a sports psychologist or a performance psychologist as well, because I think part of my mind is the reason why I don't perform. So, to go back to your question, I won my first 2 fights. I won the first one by unanimous decision, and then I won the second in Thailand by knockout, second round. The second one was a good performance because, I don't know, it was just I was feeling quite good. And then my third, and then I was about, what was it? I think I was about 700 in the world, which after 3 fights is pretty good. Considering I was basically a functioning alcoholic 4 years ago, you know. I think we've come quite far. So even just to say that I'm a professional athlete now is kind of, you know, it's don't know, just a whole different world from where I was or could have been had I not decided to make the change. Yeah.
And so what happens next? Like, where do you want to get to?
Honestly, I want to try and win some kind of lower tier belt that no proper boxer cares about, you know.
Yeah, but that's like such a distance from where you were. That is your big title.
Absolutely. That, I mean, to me, that is a world title enough. That's what, and then I'll retire, you know, box competitively the next, I don't know, 2-3 years or something. Then I'll retire, provided I've got a wee belt on my mantelpiece. I can retire a happy man. Nice. And I'll just say, you know what, I achieved that. After having you know, been ill-disciplined as not fulfilled my potential when I was younger, and, you know, kind of sliding down a slippery slope, even in my later years, up into my 30s, on the lifestyle front. I think having a belt on the mantelpiece will be good enough for me, and then I'll sail off into the sunset, you know.
Nice. And how far away is the alcohol now? You obviously were drinking a litre of whiskey 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. How far away is that now?
Oddly enough, I don't enjoy alcohol at all. I don't like the smell of it. I don't like the taste of it. I drank when I first stopped. I would drink maybe once a year. So I went, the first year I drank in September at my friend's wedding. So we went 2-3 days just having a few drinks, and then stopped again. And then the next year, I think I was at my godson's christening, went to Ireland. Again, I was there for a week, probably drank, I don't know, maybe every night, a few pints, stuff like that. Sharing a bottle of wine at night over a meal, obviously at the christening, big thing in Ireland and Scotland. So I had a few drinks there, but then stopped again. And to be honest, and the last time I drank was at my friend's wedding last year in Scotland. I think it was June 24. And my girlfriend at the time said, "Oh, we've never drank together." I was like, "Well, I don't really like it. I don't enjoy it. Doesn't align with my my goals and stuff." Anyway, she went to the bar and bought me a cider, and I had one, and then I ended up having another one. So I had about 4 or something. I didn't get drunk. I didn't enjoy it, and I felt absolutely awful the next day. And I can remember thinking to myself, why? I don't understand why anybody does that. Yeah. I feel terrible. I felt a bit anxious, because that's part of the reason why I stopped, is because I was just anxious. It made me an anxious person, which I think I'm predisposed to anxiety anyway. But I don't think I'll ever drink again. I don't enjoy it. It doesn't give me anything, which is odd because I'm Scottish. And
I used to be a big drinker. I don't really drink. Well, I was never like an alcoholic, but I was like a drinker. I would definitely have enough units.
Here's the thing: even if you have one binge drink a week, over 14 units, that also falls into the ambit.
Then I would definitely have been, because in my uni days, I'd be out 3-4 nights a week. Aye. I would have probably done 14 units within. Yeah. The shortest amount of time is probably like 10 minutes. Yeah. Like shot, bang, bang, bang. I could have probably done it in that time. But I was never like I could go without, which is depending on your definition. That's probably what I would see as, like, if I could just not drink and be okay, that's probably what I would see.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was always like that too. Yeah. I would be like, I've had enough, I don't want to drink. But I I mean, I never felt absolutely like I had to,
Yeah.
which people probably think is the definition.
Yeah.
Like,
And
you
so-
can't function without it.
Yeah.
So you know, you get to go, if you get up and go to work in the morning, you have to have
Aye.
a wee bottle in your bag
Aye.
to see you
It's
through
actually
the
a
day.
million miles away from
Yeah.
that, really.
Yeah.
The truth. So yeah, I've never, like, the last time I drank was my best mate's stag do, which I really thought I was going to struggle to drink. Granted, the first night I was sick on the floor beside my bed at like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
and woke up like at 2 a.m. with them coming back from somewhere. But the next 4 nights I actually got on quite well with the alcohol. But that's the last time I drank. That was maybe 4 months ago. His wedding's now probably actually like a couple of days after this gets released. And I'll drink at that too.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I probably drink once or twice a year now.
Yeah, I mean, a few of my friends have actually said to me that, my kind of journey has inspired them, and they've said they asked me a couple of things, like, if I'm playing golf and people offer me a drink, because that's, you know, the kind of the two are intrinsically linked. I suppose people drink, you know, a lot of beer on the golf course, and then if they say no, then what do I say to them? Because 2 weeks ago they were adamant. They were, you know, adamant that I was going to have a drink. Why are you not drinking? And I feel like I have to explain myself.
Like justify it. Yeah.
Yeah. Even though alcohol is actually a poison.
Yeah.
You know, so you're having to justify to someone why you're not poisoning your own body, which is insane. So, you know, society has kind of conditioned us to that if you don't drink, there's something wrong.
Especially
what's the matter?
Scotland.
Yeah, and he was saying that one of the boys was like, "Oh, has a doctor told you have to not drink? Is that why you're not drinking? Or you have do you have a problem with alcohol? Like, are you an alcoholic?" Even though all the guys on the golf course are actually, you know, fall within the bracket of functioning alcoholic, you know.
Yeah.
Because all of them drink more than 14 units, so actually they're the one. But just because, you know, only alcoholics go to a meeting, go to meetings, whereas I'm not an alcoholic, you know.
Yeah, God, it's so true. It's so true. Right, let's talk about the events a little bit. So you've got the boxing events going on. What's the story? What's the goal? What's the end? What's the target?
Well, Jamie's kind of like the figurehead.
Yeah.
He's the Middle East's Eddie Hearn at the moment.
Well, he actually said that. I don't know about becoming Eddie Hearn, but I'm going to try.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just think it's... we said we both we wanted to fight on some boxing events, and there wasn't any to fight on. So we just thought, do you know what, we'll make one.
Yeah.
We both put a bit of money into it. Lost some money on the first shows, but then the last one was fantastic.
Yeah.
The last one at Jumeirah Golf Estates was absolutely fantastic, and everybody absolutely loved it. To the point where I've been in 2 different rooms and people have said, "Oh yeah, it's Amir Khan's money that's been put in it," because obviously it was such a success.
Yeah.
And I said to the guy,
and he was sitting front row. He was right at the table next to me. Amir Khan.
Yeah, well, I said to him, I was like, well, it's definitely not Amir Khan's money, because I put a lot of money. I've put some money into it, you know. And so's Jamie, and I know exactly how much where the money's come from and how much. It's
and
definitely none of it's from him.
Yeah. And he does he train at BoxIQ?
He does. Well, I mean, he is in BoxIQ quite a lot. So, but I mean, having guys like that round about, you just kind of pick their brains. I mean, Scott Quigg, he's also down at BoxIQ. He trains another guy. He trains another guy called Andy Charanek, who's also turned pro. He's 2-0. Good operator, so he's another guy who's up and coming. I mean, don't get me wrong, as obviously I only started boxing 4 years ago, so there's a limit that I'm gonna, and I was 31 at the time, so there's a ceiling that I can reach. Yeah, but I mean, there's guys at like Andy, for example. He's obviously a lot younger. Started when he was 14 or something. So he can go and do some proper stuff. Whereas I don't know, I'm kind of doing this a lot. I enjoy the training, I enjoy the mental health, for the mental health aspect of it. I don't know, somewhat of a driver is a bit of redemption for myself, for my past ill discipline, misbehaviour, you know. unfulfilled potential, something like that. But it's also good. I mean, I've obviously doing my construction dispute resolution side business on as well, and we invite clients to come and watch me box and put them in the VIP table and that sort of stuff, and people quite enjoy that kind of BD stuff. I remember I went to a meeting. I don't know how many years ago it was. I think it was before I turned pro, and for the first 45 minutes, one of the partners in the law firm just talked about boxing. Like, he walked into the room, into the boardroom, and he's like, "Oh, is this the boxer?" Yeah. Then we talked 45 minutes about boxing, and then he's like, "Oh, right, take a look at this project for us, right? I'll see you later."
That's what it's like. That's what the best business meetings are like, when you don't actually speak about the business. You just speak about something else, and it's like, "Oh yeah, we'll do that then." Fine.
Yeah. So in that respect, it's been good. But also, I don't know, I feel like my critical thinking has got far superior as well. My work product, I look at stuff from that I used to draft. My written English is what I would consider not very good at that point, and now it's totally different. So much better, so much clearer. Just the work product is far superior in every single way. To the point where I was thinking there must be some sort of link between combat and critical thinking, or the way your brain operates. And I started had a conversation the other day, actually. There's two civilizations in the world when you could argue that we have developed as a society, and that's under the Romans and the ancient Greeks, and both of them placed a very high emphasis on combat.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. However, I've been recommended a book to go and have a look called Peak Human, which actually analyses part of this. So I'm going to go and read that book as well.
That's really interesting. Mate, right, thank you very much. Have we got anything else to cover off before we wrap up?
Don't think so.
No, good. Right, where do I find you? Where do I find your fights? Where do I find your events?
Right, Instagram.
Yeah.
Michael _KK_Roos. I've also started a YouTube channel, funnily enough, documenting the journey a bit. Jamie being my manager per se, he's you need to start doing this, Michael. You need to start doing that. So yeah, we're just kind of going for it. Really, we'll see what happens over the next few months. Big few months ahead. Flying to Thailand on the 24th of August. To box on the 30th of August. And that's going to be on DAZN, so I'm locked in for that. Yeah.
Nice, very nice.
Me and Mr. Paul Weir will be flying to Thailand then, so I'm looking forward to that. It'll be good.
Nice. Right, thank you very much, mate. It's been great. I appreciate that.
Thank you.